We apologize in advance, but today you're getting a bit of a reality check.
Hello!
Hello, hello!
Welcome to this week's episode. We have a new guest.
Drum roll.
Hello!
This is Zohra.
Zohra.
Hey guys, happy to be here. So excited.
So excited to have you.
It's very exciting because today's episode we're going to be talking about reality shows. Zohra is also a big reality show fanatic, as are Tony Rose and I was like improper grammar.
Well, like, you two are actually the only people that I talk to about reality TV. Like, Bachelor in Paradise, yes, my friends sometimes watch it, only like my friend Charlotte. But like Big Brother, The Real Housewives, like, you guys are the only other ones. So I just feel like this is meant to be.
This is truly meant
All
to be.
hands in for the No Lives Club and break.
No life
Wishing
whatsoever.
we had other lives.
Oh my
Just living vicariously through the rich.
I was
and the
telling
famous.
somebody
So good.
this week that I'm finally putting my hours wasted all summer to good use.
Yeah.
For this very moment.
For a free podcast. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wait, you guys aren't paying me?
No.
In White Claws, you get a White Claw.
But
you. Take it.
Zora is part of the apartment building that we all lived in.
Oh yeah, we all lived in the
You
same
were
apartment
before,
building.
right? You were the first.
I was the first, yes. Our friend Carmen brought me in, and then slowly we started to recruit literally everyone at our work.
Because you moved in to her place before me and Steve moved in, right? But it wasn't like
Yes.
that much in between. Like
No.
maybe like 6 months max.
Yeah.
But enough to say she was there first.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, literally everyone. At one point, I was like, okay, who am I going to see in the elevator today from work?
And now we're all gone.
Everyone's gone.
Adios. Jervis
Adios.
apartment.
It was a domino effect. Like, Alex left, and then I was like, oh my god, I left, and then you left like a month after me.
I left a month after, but you know what stayed, you guys? The window scaffolding.
I've talked about it many a time. But I walked by it the other day, still there.
Still there?
Still there.
on like the front?
On my place. Yeah, the front's still there, and where
like
my
where
son-
my old apartment
Yes.
was? Holy shit. Really? They said it was only supposed to be there till the end of 2020.
Well, they said that to me, and then when the person that was taking over my lease or whatever, they're like, it's gonna be gone by the end, like, it's gonna be gone by the summer.
They kept saying that it was going to be gone every month. And this happened now for what, 4 years? It's still not gone.
I made best friends with like the construction people because they had to come into my place for the last couple of months that I was there, and I would like make them coffee, and like they were like relatively my age, and I was like, guys, tell me the truth. Like, when is this? They're like, we have no end date in
the contract.
Yeah, they're like, we have no end date in our mind, so long. Like,
Well, like I think they're just like doing it as cheap as possible. Like the rent's
Shocker.
really affordable there.
Yeah.
So like I
Yeah.
get it to a certain degree, but there are some days where I'm like, I'll pay extra. Just hurry it along.
totally.
Yeah, no, it was nothing they did was hurrying anything along. Like
No.
it was just madness and mice and just chaos for 3 years. Every year I was like, okay, this must be
Something
the month. Yeah, something new. But yeah, the mice was the last straw
Mice
for
follow
me.
you. That's a foreshadow to the apology of the week.
Yep, they certainly follow me.
But you guys have a fun story how you met. I've never heard it because I feel like how we met was like through, I mean, obviously we all worked together, but you guys were all like, you were manager status when I became, so it was like we never really had that friend thing, and then I went on Alex's team, we became friends, and then just got stuck together.
Yeah.
I'll start the story because I feel like there's a little bit of backstory that kind of explains
Ooh, I'm excited.
my behavior.
Oh, no.
Okay, so like, oh god, I don't even know where to start. Okay, so Zohra has a cousin. Her name is Zohal, and Zohal is like an angel. She is
Shout
lovely.
out.
I'm gonna start out by saying that, but I didn't always think that. That's the thing. But it was only because like my husband Steve, bless his soul, he was just trying to fuck with me. So when he came back from college, that was right before I started at our old job. And he was like, oh, I'm going to go hang out with my friend Zohal. And I don't know why, for some reason, it just like never like was in my mind, like, who is Zohal? I was like, okay, like, bye, have fun. But I'd like never heard of her. She wasn't part of like his normal friend group. And then so I always just kept asking him like, who is Zohal? And I don't know why. He was just like, just a friend. And I was like, but can you give me an explanation? Like, did you go to school with her? Like, what's the background? And you're just like, just a friend. Don't worry about it. He wasn't like trying to be like shady. He was trying to fuck with me. Like, he was trying to be funny. And so he like literally he was relentless. He wouldn't let up on it. So like, even like his brother got in on the joke. Like, what he knew, whenever he wanted to piss me off, his brother would be like, so are you seeing Zohra anytime soon? Like, and I would just fucking rage because Steve like would not tell me who she was. So then fast forward to Zohra starting at our old job, and he's like, oh, Zohal's cousin just got hired at your work. And I was like, who the fuck is Zohra? Like, I still was like so confused. And then I guess like it was just like little like bit of jealousy because I was like, I just have like no idea like who this is. And then one day, I guess, what was like an iPod or something?
Yeah, Steve had an iPod, and my cousin had posted that hers got stolen, and he was like, oh, he's like just being a nice guy.
He's like, I have an extra one.
Yeah.
And so
he was trying to fuck Zohra.
So he gives me the iPod. He's like, can you give this to Zohra at work? And I was like begrudging. I literally walked over to Zohra. I don't even remember what I said, but I could just like see like your eyes were like, okay.
First of all, I was shocked you were approaching me because the looks I was getting all week were just
well, that's the common consensus of when we all meet, Alex.
Yes.
Okay, but this was on purpose.
Right.
That's the only one that was on purpose.
Yes, I'm glad you admit that.
And I love how Zohra's not Zohra. Zohal. Sorry. What's your cousin's name?
Zohal.
Yeah. This is funny. Like that's not the person. You're still a bitch.
No. And so she just started walking towards me, and I was like, what does she want? She looks like she's honestly on a mission, but also looks like she's gonna kill me. And then you just dropped the iPod on the desk, and you were like, this is for your cousin. And I was like, oh, thank you. She can pay you. And you were like, no, it's fine. And it was
I just walked away.
It was probably like 10 seconds, and it was the most awkward moment. And I was like, okay, I feel like this girl is probably not going to let me be her friend at all. So we'll see how this goes.
I don't remember what happened for us to actually like, become friends. Like Steve probably was just like, okay, like Zohal's just a friend. I went to school with her. And I was like, oh, okay. Like now I'm fine. I just needed that one piece of information.
I actually do know the moment, and I don't know if maybe Steve had told you beforehand, like, hey, it's all good, like be chill with Zohra, stop giving her dirty looks, or if it was the moment where all the lights went out at our work, and we were all sitting there, and we had to have like a conversation, and we were forced to talk. And then I remember you saying to me, like maybe like 6 months after that, it was when you realized, you're pretty cool after all.
That's fine. Was this at the old office?
Yeah, it was at the old office. Yeah,
I think like our internet went out or something, and Poppy, excuse you, you're just like causing a mess right now.
She
Poppy's
is the
all up
center
in
of
my
attention.
grill. But I appreciate it.
That's a
Zohra
good
and I
story.
But yeah, now look at us, close
Here
to
we
100.
are.
That's really funny.
And I've met Zohra on multiple occasions.
great.
Like I said in the beginning, she is an angel. She is lovely, but it's just funny. She knows this story, right?
Oh yeah, she knows this story. Yeah.
She probably was like, here's your iPod from the bitch from work. Like, Jesus, how do you, I wouldn't accept this one from her. She's gonna kill you.
I remember giving it to her, and she was like, oh yeah, all right, this is fine.
Yeah. So in the end, I blame Steve.
Yeah,
As I do for all my problems.
I was just kidding. But this one valid. Like,
yeah.
totally valid.
So shall we move on to the main meat and potatoes of the day? Because we got a lot.
we got a lot to say. We are talkative chicks.
Okay, so let's talk about Bachelor in Paradise.
Buckle up.
Yes. Oh my god.
Craziness.
Greatest season.
Nuts.
It is
actually really
good.
good.
It's
season.
it's just messy. I've never seen it so messy because I feel like previous seasons were just so easily calculated by producers. You're like, oh, like I didn't think that was going to happen. Like it was almost too easy. Like it fell into place too easily. And now I'm like, what is happening? It's like everything's on fire.
Well, yeah, because like in previous seasons, from episode 3, you would be like, hey, they're staying together forever. But people are switching left and fucking right. They have no loyalty, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, they're like, I just want to see how things are going.
Honestly, you should, because it's a dating show. You should date more than one person to lock it in before you get engaged. You know?
Yeah, that's the whole point of Paradise, is coming in with an open mind. And
I think that would make sense if there wasn't this like elimination factor to it. Like just let them all be there. But of course, like there needs to be like a, sense of urgency and factor to it and whatnot. But that's where like the manipulation comes in, and that's where like you're not here for the right reasons and like all that bullshit.
100%. It's taken if I'm being honest, this season I feel like people are taking it a little too seriously in terms of the rules. it's meant to be kind of fun and playful, but I feel like everyone's kind of like, oh, you have to be here and you have to like not talk to anyone before, and it's, that's kind of unreasonable to ask a little bit.
Well, yeah, I think we'll get into it the whole, because in my opinion, like right off the top, Chris and Alana are completely different than Serena not Serena.
Pieper.
Thank you, Pieper and Brendan. But we'll get into it. I think we should start off on a high note.
On a happy note, Joe and Serena. Grocery store Joe is just the cutest little guy.
I love him. This is really funny because I listened to a podcast with, he was on Caitlin Bristow's podcast, and I was like, he was a sad sack in the first episode. Like, what is going on? Like, this is a little pathetic. Like, you know what you're signing up for? And he was like, I had food poisoning. And so they made it look like I was sad, but I was so sick running to the toilet that I didn't want to be around anyone because I constantly had to go to the washroom. And I'm like, editing is so genius.
That makes so much sense, because I was like, this poor guy is obviously madly in love with Kendall still. If this is how he's acting, episode 1.
Hey, butthead. Could she?
Hey, butthead.
Unless he said, hey, Beavis, there's no reason to call him butthead. Like, there has to be
so I could just tell she was probably in her mind just thinking over, like, what's the first thing I'm going to say, and that's what she landed on. And I feel like she did it
She said it a couple times. She's like, why are you being a butthead? I'm like, are we two? Like, back it up.
I could see them having, like, a really immature relationship, though.
On her side.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Kendall.
So going back to Joe and Serena, the age difference. Whoa.
Oh, I think that's my headphones.
Apologies for that.
Oopsies.
The Apple headphones, for some reason,
I just love it.
Okay.
Like
I heard it too, and I didn't know if it was me.
But I'm not a huge stickler for age difference. I mean, they have like a 13-year age difference, which is huge.
13 years?
And not my issue, she's 23. And like, let's remember where we were at 23.
Yeah, not good.
So unless she is ready to get married and have babies in the next year, she shouldn't be with a man who's 35 wanting to get married this year and have babies.
But wasn't like the age gap between Ari and Lauren really big though too? And now they have like 3 fucking kids.
Well, because like they were on the same page with kids and life. That's what I'm saying. Like, age difference doesn't matter if you're in the same state of life of what you want. But I'm like, I don't know if Serena wants that, because she left Matt's season because she wasn't ready.
Yeah. Right.
And now she's ready 2 months later.
It's hard to say. Joe is a really amazing human.
I want him.
I know, me too.
Joe?
Yeah.
He has such an infectious energy, and he's so authentically himself, like awkward, but in a way that's not weird. It's endearing. And I feel like she's really in that. She's in like a spell almost. But I don't want to doubt her feelings. But I do think she is a little young. And I don't know what he's looking for. Like, you don't really hear it.
Like, truly just want to marry him. And it's like funny that Becca is there.
Yeah.
Because like she sent him home night 1, and America rallied to get him back into
built such a brand off being getting kicked off.
And he doesn't even have a grocery store anymore. He's like, I sold it before I even went on The Bachelor. Like, but in his package, I learned so much from this Caitlin Bristow podcast. Yeah. But like in his like
shout out
intro package, like, hey, I'm Joe or whatever, he had the grocery store, but he sold it before he went on the show.
Well, even in like I think it was last season of Paradise, he was like juggling a bunch of like fruit in his hands with like a grocery bag.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
It's his claim to fame. It's really what he stands for. But he is honestly, like, I think he's being authentically himself. I'll say, like, I do think that they probably, out of everyone, because it's a hot mess out there, have the strongest relationship, in my opinion. Even though...
it's just because they're both too shy to throw rocks, though.
I think they've, like, not settled, because they're both gorgeous and they're amazing, whatever, but I feel like they're secure in, like, what they have, and they're like, we don't need to... Because he said it himself, he's a one-woman person.
Yeah.
And he is so infatuated. Like, when he cried and was like... It felt like I was talking to Kendall. I'm like, that was kind of sweet. I knew what he was trying to say, but I was like, oh.
But that's his problem, though. Like, I think it's twofold, because you can get mad at people that aren't doing it, but you can get mad at people that are doing it. But that's why him and Kendall broke up, because they didn't have that discussion of like, I don't want to move from where I'm currently living, so he could have easily found someone else instead. That
I don't know what she was trying to get out of that conversation.
Kendall, it was just set up by producers.
Joe. Yeah, it just seemed like she also there was no, like, they were not on the same page. Like, he was like, you're missing a really big piece of why, you know, we broke up, but she was avoiding it.
You know, I agree. And like, said, like, I liked how he stood up for himself almost in a way, being like, it's pointless. Like, do you want to move to Boston? You don't want to move to Boston, so like, why are we talking? Like, and because but I'll give it to her. She did say, and he agreed that she said she'll never move. And like, you need to move here. So it's like, he knew what he was getting into. So it is not unfair. I mean, 3 years, you would hope they would have the openness to try Boston. But like, she told you from the get-go, and she didn't change her mind, and you shouldn't be shocked about it.
That's true. True.
So...
All right, let's move on. Gave Joe a lot of time here.
I know. Sorry.
He deserves it.
I'm just going to quickly note Riley and Marissa.
Least favorite.
Least favorite. I mean, like, they look good together, although, like, next week's preview looks, like, kind of
They make me... Like, my body just, like, quivers when I
don't trust editing anymore. I'm like, what?
True.
You know, what are they trying to portray?
The whipped cream on the toe.
Yeah, that was a little bit much.
He walked on the beach to that, and then she licked it off. But I do want to note, Marissa... shady. The Connor situation. Connor, which like sad sack on his own. No offense, but like stop playing the guitar. You look sad. like I don't.
You
know.
think she played Connor?
Not that played him, but it was very, in my opinion, disrespectful because like they gave roses, blah blah blah. They committed to each other. She went on a date and she slept with him and didn't even talk to Connor. Didn't even tell him. And the next day didn't talk to him at all. Just like literally ghosted him in front of him, which was so weird.
I totally forgot about that. I think it was honestly masked by Connor just pissing me off, unfortunately, with the
pissing you off?
Just with the singing, and he just had like this brand that he needed to stick to, and it honestly it got a little much for me. I was like, you need to cut it out, knock it off. Let's move on from the cat and the music. Let's,
you know. Wait, can we just like real side note when he kissed that audience member in the tell-all? When they finally admitted it was set up. They like I was like, no shit, no shit. Anyway,
super weird,
gross. But Riley and Marissa. Anyway.
I don't know. We'll see what happens there, but
I'm not against them. No. They're just a little weird. Like they're a little kinky, you know. Like their kinks are not my kinks. You know what I mean?
They're a little too open.
A little too.
Just sucking toes on the beach.
I wouldn't even suck toes privately. Heads up. Like don't put one near me.
No, thank you.
It's really good to know. Everybody, PSA, TR does not suck toes. Pop that in your dating profile.
I'm literally going to just start using that as like, suck a toe, Tony Rose. Like, get it.
Yeah, that will make me really...
What was that, like, trending one that came out like a year ago? It was like, suck my ass. It'll replace that.
Well, Demi... Well, a good transition because Demi says "suck my ass" many times this season.
Yes,
that moves on to Demi, Kenny, and
Mari.
I guess it was Kenny and Mari first.
Kenny and Mari first. Mm-hmm. Can't believe he's 40. He's 40, guys. Do you know he's 40?
The nakedness, though.
They didn't blur out one portion.
Yeah,
he was wearing blue shorts on.
Because like I remember like messaging Tiara, I'm like, isn't this like sexual assault kind of like? You can't just show up.
He was just helicoptering around.
Like, you can't just show up like naked, like because that's almost like the equivalent of like a guy being like, "Hey," like flashing you. Like no one asked for that.
Yeah, it would be a little weird if he did that. No, there was definitely something underneath.
And I'm gonna say something like, love Kenny. Him as a person, I feel like he's a nice dude, even though he like slept with Demi. I'll look past that. I'm not attracted to him.
No,
it's something
he has
about
like
his teeth. I'm sorry.
Same. Nope.
Baby
teeth. He has a baby face.
Baby teeth. Look at them. They're baby teeth. They did fall out and they did grow because they're still baby teeth.
You know what it is for me? It's the 2 stars on his hip that I just can't get on board with.
He definitely got those in early 2000s because I know so many people with star tattoos because it was the
Makes
thing.
sense because he's 40.
So just right around his shaft though? Like
well, does that mean there's only 2 stars?
Ooh.
Sorry,
so
get back to the point. Yeah.
So Kenny starts with Mari. They're good, and then all of a sudden she's like,
age appropriate, good people. I feel like they're mature.
Yeah. And then she was like, I want to talk to other people, and then that's just the.
she really fucked that up.
You know, she explained it in a really weird way because she wasn't, I think she didn't mean I'm going to go pursue. She was just like, if someone asked me, I'm just letting you know, like, I'd be down to explore it. And then he misunderstood. He's like, oh, okay, so you want to break up and then we're going to go see other people. But just the best was when she confided in Demi. And then Demi's like, yeah, I'm going to go take your man because I need to go fuck him.
Yeah.
It was weird to me because I felt like she was saying that the reason why she did that to him was because she got scared. But in my mind, I think she got comfortable and actually just didn't like him that much. I'm sticking by that. I honestly think she thought she had more options than she did. And then when she didn't, she ran away and was like, hey, I want you back. And I'm sorry. I don't know.
Was it Mari that was crying that she was never chosen, but she was like in a relationship? But was that someone on this season?
Oh, they're like, it's never me that gets picked.
Yeah. Was that her? Do we remember this? Someone was crying about that.
I don't think it was her.
Okay.
No.
I want to say Natasha.
I think was it not Teshwan?
Teshwan.
Yeah. Oh, it was Teshwan. I forgot about her.
But it was funny because Trey picked her.
Yeah, but like I do understand that. Like imagine you're at the beach and like you can pick anyone, no one's in a relationship, and you never get picked. Like that would crush me to me leaving.
God.
I would leave as well.
I have a hard enough time on dating apps.
She has to
let
date
alone
her,
have that in person.
She has to date her ex's nephew.
Uncle.
Yeah. Well, like
he was the nephew.
But anyway, so back to Mari and whatever. So I feel like she did it herself. Like she really fucked that up. Demi and him was what it was. It was literally just for a night of fun.
Yeah,
and I love how they call it the boom boom room. Like
boom boom room.
Well, that's Jersey Shore. That's Jersey Shore. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what they call it.
It was the boom boom room.
Yeah. No, they call it something else.
Oh, smash room.
Oh,
smush room. Yeah,
the
you're right.
boom boom room.
But I don't know, but it's like, yeah, like just Demi Nicole, just the way she says boom boom room, I'm like, oh, like it sounds so gross.
It's really sad because, I mean, we should just go into Demi now. Yeah. It makes sense. But it's just like, I find her irritating to no belief. Like I don't find her entertaining this season. I found her really annoying, so I'm happy she's gone. Mm-hmm. But I just felt so sad because every time he was trying to like turn her down, she was like, let's go to the boom, like whispering, like let's go have sex.
Felt bad.
And it's like your body is not like, you're not just a piece of meat.
You could tell towards the end. Well, she came in with an act. She came in with the character. Mm-hmm. Yeah, literally. She was like, I'm here to fuck shit up.
I'm gonna take all their men.
Yeah.
Which I was on board for Demi at that time. When I thought she was, I was like, you're entertaining, you're actually fun, like whatever, you're just taking this in a very lighthearted way. But then things turn. You could tell she gets really, really insecure very quickly about guys rejecting her. Brendan.
Yeah.
She threw a fit. She cried that night. She got wasted.
It's embarrassing. It's like, and she says it herself. She's like, I'm embarrassed. Like, this is how she reacts to embarrassment. But it's like, it's not embarrassing. You're on a dating show. And like, be yourself, maybe, not a monster.
Not everyone is going to like you. But that was her thing, was like, she's used to using maybe sex as like a weapon in a way.
Yeah, no, totally.
But yeah, no, I do feel bad for her. But I don't know how I feel fully about Mari and Kenny being back together.
But the fact that they ended up back together, like, they came full circle. But like she knows that he banged Demi, right? Like that was like open knowledge because I don't think
I don't think she knows.
No, because Demi was open about it.
Oh, like maybe.
I mean, she was like kind of just yelling it out at the bar.
But then that goes back to your point where she was probably just like doing it because she had nothing else and she was just very easy to forgive.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but she's absolutely thought she was just there to kind of mess around and then ended up maybe catching some feelings for Kenny and getting butthurt, or the ego. Her ego took a hit.
Well, that's a sad thing. Is like I'm sure she liked all of these people. I'm sure she wanted to be with Brendan, and like you know what I mean. Like I think she wanted to be with Kenny, and then when they turned her down, like because she wasn't being her real self, like I'm sure she's actually really nice in person. She has friends, so I'm sure she's nice.
I'm
sure she's not like this off camera, and so I wish we would see her, and I hope she doesn't come back next season because it's too much now. Yeah, it's just sad.
I wouldn't.
Was this her second Bachelor in Paradise?
Third, I think, because she was engaged to the girl last season.
No, but I swear this is only her second time, though.
Yeah, I think Paradise, it's her second time. Okay. And then...
Oh, yeah, because Colton has only been a couple of years.
But anyways, she did a hypocritical thing, which kind of brings us to the next couple.
Brendan and
Pieper.
Natasha and Pieper.
Yeah, what a mess.
It's disgusting. I love it, but it's also... Brent,
good drama. I mean, I can't just like watch all the sad saps on this. I need drama.
It's good drama, and like Pieper, she just annoys me. She doesn't do as much, but Brendan is mean.
Yeah,
Natasha has no other prospects, you know. And then she was saying like Demi and whatever. Like he was saying some mean things.
Well, let's like rewind.
Yeah, let's rewind.
Even
Go,
like
take us through.
at the beginning. Okay, so when he rejected Demi, he had already been talking about making stronger connections. His stronger connection was Natasha. The whole time he's leading Natasha on, telling her, "You're my strongest connection." If someone as beautiful, drop dead gorgeous as Brendan was telling me I'm their strongest connection and that they should trust me, I would fucking trust them.
Because he was like a good guy on like previous seasons. Like, you had no reason to doubt.
Zohra and I would text all the time. Brendan was Zohra, guys. Brendan was Zohra's celebrity crush to no end. She wouldn't shut up about him. She was like our boy. Like every time we talk about it, like our boy.
Absolutely heartbroken.
What happened?
You know what? It revealed a lot, because now I'm thinking back to even Tayshia's season and how he kind of blindsided Tayshia a little bit too. He just decided to get cold feet up and leave. Whatever. Yes, it happens. You weren't ready, but you put on a very good show.
Yeah,
totally.
And now we saw that kind of unravel.
Totally.
And at the expense of Natasha, he literally put on a good show, didn't kiss her, really, and that was fucking weird.
He finally had to do it because she was about to back out.
But for how methodical he was and the lengths that he went to for Pieper to just ruin it in like 5
I was just gonna say,
this dumb bitch.
For them seeing each other the day before the flight, they should have come up with a plan. And she should have
let's hop
known.
on the same page.
Please, okay, so the date. When they, Pieper and Brendan, when they sit down, and she was like, well, what did you do? And he was like, I had to do what I had to do to make the plan work. Basically,
he was speaking in code. Come on. How did you pay attention?
How could she not read between the lines?
She's so dumb. I'm sorry, Pieper, you're dumb.
I think she's a very pretty girl, but her eyes are really small. Is it just me?
Oh, I've never noticed.
It's the
bothers
eyebrows
me.
for me. The eyebrows
I just
are
can't look
far
at her
too...
as a whole. Like, she just bothers me.
She just looks like a deer in headlights the entire time. She's just like...
Totally. Well, she's so aloof. Like, she's just like a... Yeah, deer in head. Like, no idea what's going on. Threw Brendan under the bus.
And her
like,
name
the
is
story,
spelled weird.
Totally. Like, literally
Piper is spelled P-I-P-E-R.
No,
not
hers is
Piper. P-I-E.
Well, you know, I will say, I always, on Matt James' season, I did not like her. I thought she was really mean.
Yeah, she was...
I don't like mean people. I thought I was like, Pieper is actually kind of mean. Like,
So her and Brendan are meant for each other.
and then, I
they're
guess
meant
it came
for,
full circle.
I think... Okay, so wait, I have so many things to say.
Yeah.
Just too much information all at once.
I know, overload. So when they're on the plop and they're talking, and like they know they're mic'd, they hold the mic and they're talking into it. And he was like, I incriminated myself too much. But she is talking about a U.S. Weekly article. And they're talking about their followers. And she was like, remember when I got 75,000 followers? Like, that was such a big celebration. She was like, yeah, I'm so proud of you. And she was like, yeah, that Us Weekly magazine really, boosted my career. Which I don't even know what article they're talking about. Yeah. But there's a new Instagram account that Alex and I have found. And it's called Bachelor Data. And they're so hungry for their followers. And this account tracks everyone's followers based on the episode of the week.
Yeah.
So, Bachelor Nation went ham. And they unfollowed Brendan, don't even know his name, I don't fucking care.
Doesn't matter.
Pieper, and then they followed Natasha. So, after that night's episode, the Monday night episode, Brendan lost 100,000 followers. Pieper only lost 9.8 thousand. Natasha...
Well, the relativity. How much did he start with?
I'm going to go into it.
Okay,
Yes, 1 second. So, Natasha gained 359,000 followers in 2 days. Something like crazy.
That's
that
queen.
Like a week.
Fuck yeah.
Queen. And I actually unfollowed Brendan and I followed Natasha. I'm like, I don't even care, but I'm like, this just feels right.
Yeah.
So, Pieper, everyone was like... It's all relative because she started with like 81,000. Like she was like at around 81,000 and now she's like at like 70. What's the math? 71, 72. But there was a tweet going around of people being like, why aren't people unfollowing her? A couple things. One, relative. She only started with 81, like not whatever that percentage is. That's a pretty good chunk of people. Mm-hmm. But a guy responded and was like, this is bogus. She's buying her followers, and that's why it's not budging, because they're bots. He was like, I work for an influencer marketing company that we pull analytics. We can see analytics on everyone's Instagram. And when I go to her page, it says, we can't trust this followers numbers because it seems unauthentic. Meaning they're not real people.
Oh, hot take.
And the reason why she's not losing people is because she bought them all. Not all of them, but I'm sure she bought a lot.
TR, she has a bachelor's degree in marketing. She does not need to have the show.
Very true.
For her followers.
It was really funny. There was like a meme going around of like her follower, like a pie chart of all her like followers go down, and her face looking like this. And it was like, I guess I got to use my bachelor degree in marketing. So good. But I just thought that was very interesting, and I love Bachelor Nation. Like 359,000 followers over in 2 nights. And then, the Us Weekly, I had a tie back. Okay.
Yeah.
So Brendan apologized. And you know what? For a piece of shit that he is, it was a pretty good apology, being like, I take the blame. It was all me. Like, Pieper was in it, but like, it was more me. It was me that played Natasha.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna think on this, and I'm gonna release a full apology because it deserves the full apology, and I'll reach out to Natasha privately, right? Good on him. It was a good PR move, and I think he can come back from this, but he's just a loser.
And I feel like cancel culture is we just have to step away from it.
Exactly.
Like you do shitty things, it's entertaining for us. I'll take it.
Totally.
But
it's all
let's
entertainment.
not ruin their lives.
No, exactly. They're real people. This is a show. They put on a show. It was a good show. Pieper released her apology through Us Weekly.
Oh, God.
It was a very bad apology. Not owning up for anything. I can't remember. I screenshot on my phone, but I don't have access to my phone right now. And it was basically just saying, like, we had no prior relationship. Like, I had nothing. Like, literally not taking blame. Like, she didn't take the blame for anything. Accountability. Thank you.
Yeah.
So then everyone was like, it blasted over Twitter and Instagram, being like, this bitch, the Us Weekly, really? Because you went on the show saying the Us Weekly, like, of course you're doing this through Us Weekly, whatever. So then she posts something on Instagram stories, and it literally was so dumb. She was like, again, I just want to reiterate, me and Brendan were not in a relationship prior to the show.
Yeah.
And that was her apology.
Are they together now?
Apparently, a source says that they're working through shit. I'm like,
Yeah, they're working through
Just like their
PR
faces
shit.
in the car when they were leaving, though, was
so good.
fucking priceless.
That meme in itself was so
so
satisfying. But yeah, I know it was very messy. They both deserved the backlash that they got,
1,000%.
because I've never seen something so heartless happen
heartless.
on reality TV.
No, I thought Chris and Alana were worse. Like, we need to jump to this.
I'm opposite. I'm actually, it was a bullying situation.
I thought that was bullying
Thank you
too,
so much.
but I want to hear your take.
I would love to, so let's jump into it.
Okay, no.
And no, don't shy away. Like, please tell your opinions.
Yeah.
It's just reality TV.
No, they definitely, like, did gang up on them a little bit, but, like, in the same way that, like, did you not want them to leave?
No, I don't think they should have left, honestly, because, do you want to...
Okay, let's talk about the whole situation.
Yes.
Okay, so Chris is with Jasenia. She broke up with another guy, and he left the show because she didn't pick him that week. She chose Chris instead. And then they're together. They seem really good and happy, and then... It was kind of evil of Bachelor in Paradise because here's 4 girls that are just, like, that's the most amount of people that have come in.
R.I.P. to those 2 girls, McKenna and the other girl that, like, didn't get any screen time.
They didn't even, like, say anything about
Spoiler
that.
alert, I think they're coming in later, but...
Yeah. I was like, how did Tongue Girl make it?
Is that
McKenna.
yeah.
So they're at this big party, and then Alana shows up, and Chris, I guess, and Alana had been talking beforehand, like, very similar.
He literally says BRB. Verbatim. BRB, Jasenia. BRB.
Yeah, and he just
Never
leaves her,
comes
and then
back.
he goes and starts making out with Alana and Jasenia, which obviously planted by the producers. They make her walk by, and then
1,000%.
literally just her face, and she's like just looking around, like, where am I going? And then she's like literally just her whole posture just went.
Well, the producers would probably, like, come out for your in-the-moment interview or whatever it's called.
Something like that. Yeah. It was fucking evil. And, like, he didn't even care. He didn't even say, like, 1 second,
ruthless.
Alana, let me go chat with her. And that's why I think everything that they got was very well deserved.
You know what? That's a really good point. I forgot how absolutely
fun. And then they're like
awful
making out on
was.
the dance floor. She like Jasenia's just watching them the entire night. He didn't talk to her once.
Okay, the reason why I think it's different, I think Chris is a piece of shit and worse than Brendan. Like, very on par. Like, literal asshole move. But the difference is that they actually didn't have a relationship prior to the show, and Alana proved it on so many ways.
Yeah.
She came in and was like, we're talking, whatever. Like, we hung out one day. She threw herself at that party. Jasenia even confirmed it, that they weren't together. They all went to a party, and they hit it off, but they never spoke after that. And then Alana came and wanted her Bachelor in Paradise experience and didn't get it, and she was pushed off. Okay, I think it was completely bullying, and we'll get back into that part, but when they left, she didn't even let him get in the car.
No, that was the best part. I was actually howling. I was like, oh my
Chris,
God.
you have your own car.
Chris,
This isn't your car.
Yeah. And then when they're discussing it, she's like, you're gonna do this to me, Chris. Like, you're gonna do this to me. You're ruining my experience. So there was not a plan. It was not pre-planned.
No, I'm not saying it was to the same degree as Brendan and Pieper, but just what he did was still a piece of shit. Like I think because
piece of shit,
Jasenia was just such a good girl that everyone was like, why the fuck would you? Just the same way that they rallied for Natasha as well.
Jasenia, I gotta say, this might be controversial, but she fucked over Ivan.
She fucked over
She
Ivan.
fucked over Ivan.
Totally.
And in my head, I was like, okay, so you knew, you kind of were talking to Chris before you were hoping he was coming to Paradise. You jumped ship pretty quickly.
But she talked to him, though, and that's the proper way to explore it.
Paradise is about. Like, Chris technically didn't do anything wrong. They weren't dating before.
Yeah.
They both knew they wanted to see each other, and then they explored it as soon as they got there. He did it in a shitty goddamn way.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't have been kicked out before Brendan and Pieper.
You know, that's true.
No,
it's offensive.
I think that's why people realize it, like the next morning. They're like, okay, now we gotta get on.
You know what? He was just generally not liked. That's the consensus you got from the beach. Is like
he wasn't
Brendan
a friend.
was liked.
He wasn't a bro.
Yeah, Chris not liked.
And then
people were making fun of him.
Yeah, Joe and who was the other guy that ganged up on him?
Riley.
Thank you. It was too much.
It was a little bit.
I loved it.
I loved it. I loved it when Alana was
Joe
like,
and his armies.
when Alana was like, do you want to hear my take? No, you're good, thanks. Like,
Oh yeah.
it was bullied, but it was the best.
It was beautiful.
They
TV.
called her a hot Ursula Ariel, you know?
Oh, I love that.
When she turns into...
Oh yeah.
So
chick.
I think it was bullying, honestly. Like what they said, it was like really fucking rude because he played by the rules. Technically, he was not a Brendan Pieper. They both weren't in on it, and Alana proved it. And I'm sure they didn't even speak after. Like
that's got to be done right now.
I think that was just like the creme de la creme. Just like this, Chris, this isn't your car. Like he was like, okay, I'm leaving with this girl. Like this is a shitty circumstance, but I'm gonna leave with her. And she was like, don't even fucking talk to me. Like even like Piper's face too was just like
stayed because she didn't do really anything wrong.
She knew that no one would have given her a rose that week though, because it was men just giving roses.
Yeah, that's
Who
true.
else would have done it?
And the whole beach loved Jasenia. Like you could tell all the guys had her back to a T.
Well,
so.
that was Aaron.
You mean our union leader?
Yeah. I love. He is the one guy. Like if you had to be with a guy, that would be the guy for me.
Really?
I love him so much. I think he's so funny.
He reminds me, and Alex, you can probably like attest to this. Every guy in Coquitlam. That is
okay. He is very broy, and I'm seeing this more on his Instagram. But something about him, I'm just like, yes, like I could fuck with this dude. I could fuck this dude. I think he's tall. He commands a room. He's funny. I like personality over looks anyway.
Funny.
I think he's cute, but he's so funny. When he was like, "Well, I'm on some gang shit with Janice." What's her name? Janice.
Jasenia.
Yeah, everyone knows me in names, but he's like, I'm on some gang shit with her, so I gotta side with her. So I'm just like, I fucking love you.
I respect his loyalty when he comes out and like guns blazing, but it's too much broy shit for me.
I do agree, and I did add another person, but we're just gonna end here. But I want to add the Thomas, Aaron, and Tammy situation.
Ooh,
that one was rough. That was like equally shitty.
It was equally shitty, but
she got what she was.
Okay, so Tammy's a psycho.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Yeah,
she got what she deserved.
She got what she deserved, but I have a hot take that Aaron did the same thing the night before.
Did.
Serena C straddled Aaron on the same palapa and made out with him, and she was like, what the fuck? And then literally the night after, Tammy did that with Thomas, and he was like, what the fuck? So I'm just like, okay, you both were in the wrong. Tammy's a psycho bitch, though.
Yeah, Aaron took it too far. I did not like the fact that he was like talking so much shit about Tammy. Like, relax, you did the same thing. To your point, he didn't. There was no need for slut shaming, calling her trash, for Trey to be like, she's a trash human. I'm like, get out of here. You guys do that shit all the time. Like, everybody was doing that on the beach.
She's trash. She's trash.
She's trash. Trash.
He can't say it, but we can say it because we're females.
Okay, but one more thing on Tammy as well. The fact that Becca came to her and was like, I'm actually really interested in Aaron. Can I take him on a date? And she was like, yeah, sure. Like, not thinking it would bite her in the ass, and then it did. Like, Becca did it the right way, but I'm surprised that there wasn't like a little bit more like,
actually,
what the fuck?
Well, she overreacted. Like, what did she think was gonna happen?
No, my favorite reaction. Okay, so Thomas, say what you want. I think he's an asshole. I don't really like him as a person. Like, I think he's a little fratty as well. But him, like, telling Tammy was nice. But Tammy was like, what can I do? I didn't see this coming. I'm like, you didn't see he hasn't even talked to you in like 2 days. How do you think he's in love with you?
Yeah, and it's Thomas. Like, he speaks in extremes constantly, always. And you've always been the woman of my dreams, and I've always known we were going to be together for.
He just has no idea how to let her down. Like, what can I do? What can I do? And he's like, I'm just like, I'm not there.
I just don't think
and I'm like, oh, just tell her you're not into her.
Just be like, I'm gonna go be with Becca. You know who he is? Josh Murray 2.0.
Oh yeah,
I don't know that.
Andy Dorfman's who she chose, who's literally Thomas, like broy, douchey, fratty. Anyway,
it's not good.
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
One more. I forgot Deandra, Carl, and Jason.
Right.
I love
this
because it was just so out of nowhere. So Deandra was with Carl, and then Carl's like, I brought this fucking Pandora bracelet to Bachelor in Paradise to give to the
families or something.
I don't know. It looked like a Pandora piece of shit. I'm sorry. It was from Miami.
So ugly.
Yeah.
Welcome to Miami.
Bienvenido a Miami.
So he gives her the bracelet, and he's like, I brought this bracelet to give it to the person that I want to be with. And she's like, oh, thank you so much. Literally the same day, Chasen gives her a fucking like iced out chain necklace, the ugliest fucking thing. And you know what's funny? When I was looking it up, because I forgot their names, what's his name? Blake Horseman from like the previous like seasons or whatever.
Yeah.
He said that. Oh, why does it say Horseman? Okay, anyways, we both know who we're talking about. But the necklace was actually from producers. He's like, there's no way, like, the producers were just like, oh, give this to her to like make it.
And she's like, oh my god, this is so nice. And I was like, well, you're obviously gonna get rid of Carl because Carl is unfortunately
he was a psycho, though. Like, he was so
his eyes are like,
Carl was unwell.
That's what it is. It's like popping out of your head.
He was just in his own world the entire time. I did start to feel bad for him towards the end because I was like,
he's harmless,
absolutely harmless. You're just really.
But he's like a little bug that you just want to bug away.
But can we talk about Deandra just getting showered with bling?
Yeah. Like, what is coming out of this girl's ass right now? But then the cherry, the creme de la creme on top, she chose neither of them.
Yes.
Best move.
Gave it to Ivan. I was like,
Ivan deserves it.
That had to be the mic drop.
I love how they gave no background to it. It's not like she spoke with him separately.
No,
it was like, hey,
I don't think she did.
I
think this was like a split. She's like, I don't like these dudes, and Ivan's a good guy. And like, I was actually sad at the result. I'm like, Ivan, because he's also in my top running of like who I'd want to be with.
I love Ivan.
Love him. He's in the top 3, I would say.
Yes. Yeah. I love him. I think he's kind, and I'm just still upset.
But what's really sad is like he's kind of paired with Kendall right now, and she's like,
it's not gonna last. I hope a girl comes down and he gets stolen.
He went for a kiss at the worst moment.
Wait, I don't remember this.
When she was like staring at Joe and Serena making out after they just professed their love for each other, and then he's like, and she's like, no, not right now.
She was crying
in the previews. Well, like in the previews when she's crying, she goes to Joe. Like, she's just like a baby or something, like a little kid.
I know. I feel bad.
And I loved them.
Could you guys imagine? Just imagine yourself on a beach with a recent ex, and they're falling in love in front of your eyes. I was just trying to put myself in her shoes. I'm like, I would probably spiral.
She's probably getting paid.
Drown myself in that ocean, like
maybe $600 a day.
I was gonna say because she
came in halfway through. Though.
She's getting paid more because I'm sure she's like, I'm gonna be the topic of conversation. Like literally, she's the focal point.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, that's Bachelor in Paradise.
That's a wrap.
I'm so happy we talked about it. I had so many things, so many
I
thoughts.
actually
All
feel
the thoughts.
better.
Like, honestly, like a weight off of your chest. Carrying the weight of all these dramatic people.
It's been
really
heavy. It's been heavy.
It's been all of COVID for me. Just carrying the weight of reality TV. Here we are.
Okay, on to the next. Housewives of Beverly Hills. And now that I thought about it, we should have thought about what our tagline would be for Housewives.
Oh, stop.
Did we do that once, actually? Remember? Like,
Yes.
But now I can't remember it.
I don't remember it, but mine would be something along the lines of the meal is not over until you're full. It's over when you hate yourself or something.
Okay, wait, I love that. Mine would be like, forget stopping and smelling the roses. It would be something stupid.
I'm not creative enough to come
Me
with anything
either.
on the
Literally,
spot.
I literally couldn't. I've stopped halfway through. I'm like,
I know.
Okay,
There's some
we
good
have
TikToks on it.
Rose all day, Tony Rose all day. There you go.
Sick.
Sold.
Sick.
Okay, we have 2 Housewives shows to get through, so let's start with
Okay, yeah.
Beverly Hills
Okay.
because they're the
It'll be
bestest.
shorter than Paradise because I feel like we had a lot to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Erika Girardi.
Do we
as
believe
all
her?
know. Okay, so quick recap for anyone that
Yes.
doesn't know. So Erika Girardi, she is 20 years younger than her husband.
Yeah.
30, actually.
30,
Yeah, 30 years
something,
younger.
He's 81.
Yeah.
Yep, that makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
So she married him when she was like a waitress. Like I actually listened to her memoir, but it was like it was like literally right before all this shit happened,
probably
so it
all
doesn't
fake,
cover
so.
any of it. Well, it's just like interesting. Like she
We
was
know
like
what side you're on.
She was
No,
a server
I was
at a really fancy like steakhouse in Los Angeles, and he just kept coming in all the time, and it just went from there. Like they were just really good friends, and then they started dating.
Nice. Interesting.
Anyway, so now Tom Girardi is one of the famous lawyers that was within like the Aaron Brockovich movie sort of thing. Like he was like that firm.
he
dealt
was
with
that lawyer.
whole- yeah. So he got demonies, and now he's being accused of like using funds from not that specific case, but like other cases.
Yeah, he's pretty much accused of taking settlement money and not actually giving it to orphans
to the
and widows,
Yeah.
people who died in plane crashes. He pretty much apparently has pocketed the money or spent it elsewhere, and those were supposed to go to dying and sick victims.
It says that he embezzled millions from widows and orphans from plane crashes.
And then the drama with Erika is that she announced that she was getting divorced from him like a month before all of this information came out. So then everyone's like, okay, like you're getting divorced, so then you're not getting pulled into it. So that's like the huge thing that's on this season.
Yeah. I want to start off by saying Erika was my favorite housewife.
Yep.
She was my favorite housewife.
really
She carried
weird
the
now.
show. She was so good up until this episode or the season. My take, I feel like we should go down like what we think, but like overall, I don't think she knew exactly what was going on. She's married to a very rich person, and she probably heard a little bit, and he was probably like, it's better if you don't know, sweetie.
Yeah.
Like, you better if you don't know, sweetie. Like, whatever, it's fine. So I think she probably knew something was sketchy was going on. She didn't know what it was, and she knew she shouldn't find out.
Yeah.
And so that is my take. Like, I feel like she knew about it, but she didn't know about it.
But I do think that the divorce is genuinely just to like protect her though. Like I think she's like
1,000%.
still like loves him and all this stuff.
1,000%.
But like it got weird when she's like talking about how like he had affairs and he was driving and he rolled his car and like all this stuff, and everyone's like,
that's when
why
it started
didn't you
to get
tell
weird.
us about this?
You know, for me, it started to turn. I believed her at first. I was like, who in their right mind would want to go through this?
Exactly.
If you're making this all up, this is really fucked up that you're putting yourself through this. But what turned around for me was more when she started actually talking about the brain injury. It was almost as if, hey, listen, lawyers, everyone who's taking notes on the case, I'm telling you live publicly that car accident caused brain damage, whereas before I only said that his ankle got injured, and my thought process was, okay, you're saying that so that it helps him not get as big of a sentence, you know, in court. Who knows like what is real, but it was just very convenient timing. You know, Erika's not an oversharer. We've seen her in every season. She does not talk about her personal life.
Shocking that she's on the show, honestly.
And now you want to talk about your personal life with the most personal and crazy and public thing that's going on. So that's when it turned for me a little
calculated. Like I think his team is like telling her what to say, but it's almost like you can tell someone's lying when they're giving too much information.
Well,
because she's such a quiet person, and even the way that she tells the stories, they're not like calculated enough to make them seem genuine. Like, she looks like crazy. Like, she's about to fucking slash her throat. She's like, and he rolled his car. And you're like,
well, she's like, I've had a very hard 24 hours.
But yeah.
I'm sorry, it's at that point, it's now crocodile tears. And when she's at the dinner with Sutton and they're sitting down and she's like, don't you dare talk to me like that. Or what? Yeah.
I was
and she was like,
or nothing. Yeah.
So you want me to sue you? Sit the fuck down.
I know.
I'm sorry. I'm on the side of the females who's very closely tied to her and being like, they're involved in this. They are. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's weird because I get, okay, Sutton definitely went a little too far holding a fucking separate meeting at the house. I thought that was a little bit shady.
That she thought it was going to like affect her, like, we're not socialites, so we're not in that circle. So I guess we kind of test
for yourself.
Sorry, I'm actually on the side. I hate Sutton. Sorry, I do. She's so annoying. But I would have met with my other friends being like, do we have to worry about this? I don't think I would have done it on TV. Yeah. I would have cut that hush hush. Mm-hmm. But I've been like, do you think we're close? Like, if she's my best friend and we're filming 24/7 and we're on the same show, we're in the same company.
Yeah,
I would be asking the same questions. I think she's...
Yeah. But if you don't know anything, if you genuinely don't know anything, you have nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah.
If she hasn't told you any information, if they depose you, you can be like, yeah, I don't know anything genuinely.
It's
then
still
like
scary.
It's totally valid for them to have those fears. My issue was like setting up a whole freaking thing.
Yeah.
Sutton looked really bad in that moment. She's at her most vulnerable place, whether she's telling the full truth or not. You were there for your friend. Like, you're not going to be there to I don't know, go behind their back.
When they brought that meeting up on the last episode, you weren't invited to that. Let's stop talking about that.
That was
very
awkward.
Such a dick
It's
move.
so dumb. And like, I don't know, and even the whole, when she told Giselle,
Garcelle.
Jesus Christ.
I call her Giselle all the time.
Garcelle in the car about that one thing, and then Garcelle shared it with the ladies about Tom called her or whatever, and she's like, I told you that.
Erika, if you don't mind me saying, and she's like, I do mind. Go ahead and tell everyone about my personal life. That was kind of weird because I'm like, yeah, you said it on TV, so it was kind of a weird job for her.
It was weird, but it's also like, Garcelle did bring it up. She was like, well, she shared this in the car. Like, it was kind of awkward. Like, she went out of her way to say it. Yeah. But I'm like, I get both sides, but I'm like, Erika just needs to stop with the fake crying or the like, woe is me. Like, I know your life is literal shit right now, but like, literal shit. Like, you're in the dumps. But
like the poor woman just lives in a 3-bedroom house now. That poor thing. I'm so curious to know if she still has like the whole glam squad, because she's been looking like she's still beautiful, but she hasn't been like.
Well, in the last episode, Mikey was doing her makeup.
Probably like pro bono.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, no, like honestly, like for the show, I'm sure he was like, I get exposure for it. I'll do your makeup for free.
And they're friends, so I would hope that they didn't walk out of her life. I mean, to wrap that up, like I do feel bad for her. I think there's some really. I think everything she said about how Tom treated her is dead on, like facts.
Yeah.
No, 1,000%, because she's married to a guy. Well, she's married to a guy 30 years older, and if he's cheated a long time, she's there for the money at some point.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and like,
that's true.
What Garcelle said was like, why are you divorcing him now? He's literally on his deathbed.
I know. Yeah. Well,
but she like from her memoir, like she's not an emotional person, like obviously as you can tell. So she's very like logistical and calculated. So it's like, I'm sure there was like love there, but
I'm sure love was there, but at some point.
Ew, that story. Do you remember the story she told about how she once went out with his friends and him, and they were sitting there, and pretty much he told his friend, if you can afford her,
take her
kind of thing, because one of the friends were being kind of
like lewd.
And that she said it was that moment I knew what I had gotten myself into.
And like her being more open about this now, because I'm sure when she was married to him, she obviously kept it shut because she had money tied in and stuff like that. But it does make it more believable now that she's like more open, because she has no money tied to it. She's completely divorced, and she can say what she wants to say.
But supposedly there was like $20 million put into like her entertainment account, like of like whatever her like LTD
I'm sure her marriage, she had a prenup, but I'm sure she still gets some money.
Yeah, I think all of the money's frozen right now.
Well, he has dementia, and he now has a conservatorship.
Right, his brother.
So that's all messy. So I don't know. I'm just like, I'm kind of over it. Like, I thought it would be not more juicy, but like, why are we dragging out the same conversation every episode?
It's
like, can we move on?
It's like nothing that's like adding to the story.
No. And you know what really dragged on? Naked Gate. with Sutton and Crystal.
Oh my God.
That dragged on for 4 episodes.
It did. It was literally returning a coat.
Have you ever walked in on someone naked and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I don't know.
I think like Crystal just has shit like from her past that she's like really traumatized about, but it was weird that she just kept dragging it on. And what was she saying? Violated.
Yeah, she said that she was
word.
violated and
like it wasn't like malicious.
Well, she called
it was an accident.
She called Sutton creepy.
She is creepy.
She is
like,
a little creepy. No, she's creepy. I think violation was wrong. Violated me because like Sutton is weird. Like when she left, she was like, I don't know what you're doing in there. Like she's in a room changing. Like I get that part, but like let's not harp on it. It's just that's
no.
Sutton.
She's
Southern
weird.
Lady. She's
a weirdo. She's quirky. She also like was ducking her head when she returned the coat, and she was like, I don't know what's going on there, and she kind of like ducked out. It wasn't like she was lingering around and watching. Like the way Crystal kind of went about it was like she has no sort of respect for her privacy, and you know came in and was being what do you call it? What did Kathy call it? A creepy Tom or what was it?
Peeping
Tom or something?
Yeah.
Oh no,
Thomasina. Oh right, but Sutton was just Sutton. Like that was just a normal day. That was a normal response for Sutton. Like I didn't think anything weird of it because she's fucking out to lunch. Like,
as annoying as that situation was, though, I don't know why, but I really like Crystal.
I like Crystal too.
I liked Crystal before that, and then I just thought, and then she said, "Oh my God!" Another thing, a couple episodes ago, they were talking about someone who wasn't as famous. I can't remember, but she's like, "I don't know who she is." She walked in the room, I wouldn't know who she is. I'm like,
wasn't that Dorit?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was Dorit. Yeah, and they're like, "Well, I don't know who she is." I'm like, Crystal, no one knows who you are. You're married to a famous director that we might know. Yeah. You are a nobody. I'm sorry.
He did The Lion King.
Okay.
Sweet.
One movie. It's like literally like plastered around their house.
I know. But
she's
it's like,
obsessed.
She is so high maintenance. She thinks she is the shit. I really liked her up until Naked Gate, and I just can't get it out. I can't get it out of my mind.
I think some of her insecurities definitely crept in, and she took that too far. But she seems probably, in comparison to what's going on right now, the most down to earth.
Oh, totally.
Which
and
is weird.
She'll bounce back in my mind. Like it's just gonna take a couple. I'm just like over her and Sutton, like this whole thing. Like
fair.
And then now I'm like, we have to sit through the reunion. They're gonna talk about it for like 25 minutes. Like I just don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, and that should be interesting because they've kind of put their stuff to the side. But I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that.
The one thing that was interesting to me though about Sutton is that like she has kids. Like she had never mentioned it. All of a sudden, like a kid pops up, and I was like, oh,
who looks exactly like her.
But she's like 18 and looks extremely immature. Like she looks like she's like the mind of a 14-year-old in my mind. Like not in like a bad
How does someone look like their mind is younger?
No, just like the way that she was like talking and stuff. But it was like really funny how she was like Lisa Rinna was there and Lisa's like, oh, you should go out with like my daughters, and Sutton's like absolutely fucking not.
Yeah,
like her daughter was like
you can tell
little Southern girl.
Sutton keeps her in
like
Southern Southern standards of like being conservative.
It's
and
classic conservative.
Yeah, very much so.
Southern, like I'm sure she voted for Trump.
Yeah. Calling it now.
But who do we love?
Kathy Hilton.
Best decision they ever made.
Really? She does
and
not
it's just
need
the
money.
right amount. Because I feel like if she was a full-timer, it would be almost like too much, but they just like sprinkle her in at just the right time.
She's a breath of fresh air. She does not give a flying shit. She also has so much money, this show means nothing to her.
She's so rich.
And the producers are letting her do whatever the fuck she wants because she graces the presence of the show.
Well, she's doing them a favor, basically. Okay, a couple things I wanted to note. Two of my scenes that like kind of stick out is when her and Kyle are sharing a room, in wherever they went, Vermont? No,
Oh, I can't even remember.
Where they rented the house.
Yeah.
It's 2 a.m. and she's drinking a Red Bull, reading a magazine.
like newspaper in bed.
Yeah.
And has like the fan on full blast.
It's the best. She's like girl after my heart. And then in the dinner party from hell, when Sutton and they're going at it, she goes, "Can we wait till after the dessert? We have to serve dessert and coffee." And like it's just like
Kathy has a set plan.
I just love her so much. Interesting when Kyle went into the house. And she introduced herself like, "Oh, hi, I'm Kyle," and they didn't even know who she was. Like her, the guy.
He was like, "This is my sister's house."
Yeah, it's like, oh my god.
I think my favorite, and like I can't even remember the exact wording, but Kathy was like trying to be serious for me. She's like, pretty soon everyone shows their cards, and then Cal just starts out, she's like, shut the fuck up, Kathy.
Life is a poker game.
Yeah.
It's so good. Or when she's
I would love to hear what her like intro would be. Like,
well,
I hope she gets promoted next year. She probably won't. Just because she's so busy.
She's so busy and just doesn't give a fuck.
I know.
But like, Garcelle is a main character, and she literally wasn't in her first season at all because she was so busy.
Like her.
No, she could go.
She can go.
She could go.
Okay, I just like
she just doesn't mesh.
It's very similar to how Crystal always like talks about like Lion King stuff with her husband. Like Garcelle is just like coming to America, like how she was in the first movie and then she was in the second movie, and I was like, I didn't see you in either of the movies. Like, where are you?
I saw it. Don't even. Yeah, like I don't even remember you.
Yeah, don't at all. Well, you know, with Garcelle, it's tough. I feel for her because the whole like feeling excluded thing.
Yeah.
They do. Those girls have a really, really tight bond. Like Lisa,
totally.
Kyle, and Erika. Like they're a clique. They are. And remember when Vanderpump was on the show?
Oh yeah.
Yolanda felt the same way like about them for a while. It was the same thing. Them against Yolanda for a little bit. So I get that she feels that way. It obviously sucks, but she doesn't have any genuine friendship with any of them, in my opinion.
But I don't think she cares to try to be honest. Like, I don't think she likes them.
Well, this is why a traditional celebrity doesn't work, because she's a host of a talk show too, The Talk or whatever. So it's like she's so disconnected because she
reports on them.
Well, her first season, if she went to all those trips, she would have bonded with them. But since she didn't, they probably were like, fuck her, I don't want to give her the time of day. Yeah. And these girls have been on the show for a decade, so of course they're sisters, but they've been open to Sutton and Crystal because they show up.
Yeah.
And because she never showed up, I think she did it to herself, honestly.
She has her guard up a little too much.
Yeah.
She won't let them in. And even like Dorit had made a comment, or one of them, that said like, Garcelle never really tries outside of the cameras to like get to know them, talk to them or anything. So, you know, they kind of felt like, why should we give back? Well, I see it from both sides, but yeah, there's something about it. I can feel like it's not a good environment for her. Like she's just not having a good time.
I don't think she'll come back next season.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fucking hope so. I wish she hadn't been on this season. Fucking waste.
I agree.
Dorit.
Her fake accent? I never got to talk about her on the show.
She speaks 4 languages. Tony Rose?
Yeah, all in one.
I don't understand her accent.
No, it's fake.
It's so weird.
She forced herself to make that an accent.
Interesting.
I know what Kathy was like, the British girl.
Yeah, well,
I'm not British.
Kathy, my favorite, will always be when Dorit entered the room and she was like, "Where's your friend Dorit?" And Kyle's like, "It's Dorit for the."
No, it has to be Dorit. Like Kathy is everything. Like I love her.
Kathy needs her own show.
She does. But maybe it might be too much if it's her own show. Like this is perfect.
No, I think actually.
Like her and Paris.
I think on Netflix, her, Paris, and Nikki have like a cooking show.
No, Paris Hilton has a cooking show.
But then her mom's kind of.
She did it with Kim Kardashian the first episode.
Was it good?
I kind of only watched 10 minutes of it, but
I'd watch the one if she did it with her mom. I'd watch that one.
Okay, yeah.
Easy.
Love Kathy.
But I saw a TikTok. I can't give credit because I don't remember the person's username, but they were basically saying that like one of the housewives from Beverly Hills is banned from buying Louis Vuitton.
Is it Dorit?
Well, like they didn't say. But like they think it's Dorit.
Why?
Because apparently you get banned like if you buy like the limited edition stuff, and then like apparently, well, allegedly they're like reselling it for like a higher value, and then like that obviously pisses off the designer.
Oh, that's
so like
Dorit.
she just like her and her husband.
I can't stop it.
But like her and her husband just seem really shady. Like in the last episode, like how all the guys were together and he's like, "Oh, I heard you lost like $2 billion or $1 billion."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I actually lost like closer to $2 billion." And I'm like, I don't understand what the husband does. I don't understand what Dorit does to make money.
He's a tour manager, a music
Boy
manager.
George.
Boy George. But like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think
they can't be making that much money off of one.
No, they embezzle. He's probably in it with Tom.
Yeah. Well, he shat on Tom on the last episode.
Yeah, that's true.
Saying that he's not a soccer player, and why would they operate on his ankle before his brain?
That's actually so true. And you know when husbands weigh in on something like gossip, it's something serious. Like when guys put in effort to talk about it.
Our king. Okay, I have a huge crush on Mauricio,
too.
by the way. Yes, daddy to the T.
Him and Kyle are like the perfect marriage, the best people.
I love their relationship, and also just love how Mauricio just gets absolutely stoned before dinners with the girls from Real Housewives.
No, I think they're just like so cute, and like Kyle, I've always loved her. She's always gonna be my favorite one.
Yeah, I love Kyle.
Yeah, love
I can
her.
agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But
she's like smart. She's also kind of calculated on where to align herself.
She's
like smart about it.
Mm-hmm.
No, she's honest, but to a point where it still is good television, where she's not like being too loyal.
Totally, like
just
Elisa
enough.
Rena.
Yeah. Ooh,
she's
can
blind.
we get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I have thoughts.
Okay, let's hear.
I used to really like Lisa, and I have to say, after the season with Denise, I know you guys have had your reservations about it. I know Denise definitely had her flaws, but to go that hard at someone you've been friends with for over 20 years for sleeping with another girl, that doesn't concern you, but you took it upon yourself to drag her. And so it was that moment that I was like, I don't trust Lisa anymore. And is she doing this for the show? And the more I watch her, the more I just think she's acting and not genuine about literally anything.
Oh no, I agree.
So hard. I've never seen her cry other than when Kim gave the bunny back to her in the reunion. Remember that?
No, I agree that she's inauthentic, but that's why I fucking love her. Like she is an actress.
She's the comic relief though.
She's the comic relief.
Fun.
The Scott Disick of it all was so good. When she was like, I love Yael or whatever the girl's boyfriend name is. Like he can propose to her and they're like 18, but she's like, and Scott, no. Like no.
Not the fucking chance.
I love Harry Hamlin. I love
how she always says Harry Hamlin.
Harry Hamlin.
It can't just be Harry.
Nope. He is also I just feel like
I really like him.
They're the two marriages, like Kyle and Lisa, and like their relationship, like it's just it's what it should be.
Okay, wait. Lisa getting mad at Garcelle. She's like, you didn't thank me for me and Harry Hamlin bringing the sauce to you.
Right.
No, that was kind of weird.
That was weird.
Was weird.
Well, Garcelle was nitpicking.
Well, she's like, I thanked you when you gave it to me. She's like, yeah, but you didn't text me later to say thank you.
That's true. Well, she said if you're gonna nitpick what I didn't do, I'm gonna nitpick this, and that hurt my feelings.
Not that I get mad at people, but I do that as well. Like if someone does something really nice, I'm like, again, thank you so much over text. I usually do it, but I've never noticed it if someone didn't do it to me, and nor would I ever get mad at that. Like if they're saying nice and thanks in person, we don't. Why would you say it again?
Grasping at straws there. It wasn't anything you should have brought up. Yeah, it was a nice thing.
Yeah. Overall, this was a good season. I'm kind of over the Erika thing. Let's can we do something else?
I really just want to know. I want to fast forward and get to what happens. Is she going to be sued? Is she sued?
A couple weeks ago on August 24th, he was relieved of everything, wasn't he?
Oh, I have no idea. No, I have no updates on the situation. I was just wondering if she got dragged in and if she owes money or if she's going to jail. That's what I would like to know.
We should watch the Lifetime movie that they made about that.
Oh, I know.
One. Yeah. But Danielle from New Jersey, I don't know if either of you watched Jersey.
No.
Not lately, years.
Well, Danielle is one of the sources that gave them a bunch of info for that documentary, and she's not the most trusted person.
That's okay. I just need something juicy to watch.
Yeah. Fair. I'll still watch it.
Great.
Then I believe, does anyone else have any last thoughts before we move on to Salt Lake City?
No.
Kathy Hilton is queen.
Kathy Hilton is queen. All hail Kathy Hilton.
Yes.
Okay. Salt Lake City. This one's a little bit of a shorter one because we're only just started season 2. We're only one episode deep.
It's looking good.
But it is looking good.
It's a good franchise addition.
Yeah. Well, let's quickly recap season 1. So, Grandpa Fucker.
All hail Grandpa. Yeah, so Mary.
That thing carried the show. I think that's the only reason why people watched,
that
to be honest.
Insane.
It was insane.
Imagine, let me just paint you the scene. Your grandmother marries someone when you're young. You call him grandfather because he's your grandpa. No different.
Step
grandfather. Right, no blood related. She dies, and in her will, you will take over me. You will be me. You will marry my husband, and you will take over the church.
It is.
That's some Christian
Grandma,
shit,
I love you, but I love you, Grandma, but I step away from this. I would be. Yeah. No, thank you.
Because I think Mary got estranged from her mom because her mom wanted everything, right?
Yeah,
but
her
then
mom
it was
jealous.
In the will to be no, Mary.
I would be like, mom should get it.
I would want my mom to be like, don't you ever fucking think about it. Not my mom to be like, no, he should be mine and let's fight over him. That is the weirdest scenario.
It's really sick.
Oh my God. No, Mary is definitely unwell. Very unwell.
She's unhinged.
Well, she's like unhinged. Well, this season they say that she's like a leader of a cult of the religion, but she is so deep into her religion and her faith that she's so blind to everything else and not realizing how sick this is. She's sick.
I just love how much Jen hated her though, just for saying it smells like hospital. I'm not gonna lie. Hospital does have a scent. It's a valid thing to say, but she's not saying like, ew, you're disgusting for smelling that. Like Jen's just a fucking psycho. But I love watching her just completely unravel. Like when she throws the drink at her birthday party, I was like,
well, it was kind of, I'm actually shocked that Mary's back for a second season because like I love her story, but like she was disconnected from everyone and everything.
She never went to the stuff. I think like they were literally just using her for the grandpa storyline.
So I do hope she's in it more at least, Like I do want to know more.
She needs to not like just run away from it. Like that's not, you can't be a cast member if you're just walking away from the situation. But yeah, we need to see a little bit more of her. And I do think she's a cult leader because have you seen like even just clips of her doing a service at her church?
But that's like just kind of.
But that's their faith. This is the Latter-day Saints.
Oh, okay.
Mormon.
Gotcha.
Mormon.
Is she Mormon? No, she's Christian. I thought.
No, I thought this is a whole thing about Mormons.
No,
she's not Mormon.
She's like a different.
She's sorry. Christian. Okay, but I wonder what she is then because I don't think she's Catholic Christian. She must be something.
Nothing
else.
against Christian. The religion at all. It's the way I remember just seeing her the way she was treating people.
Oh no, sorry.
Catholicism is like more European based. Like,
well, no, it's an umbrella. Like everyone is Christian, but you can be Anglican, Catholic.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
I went to a Catholic school.
We trust you. Christian. It's just weird. No, I have nothing like practice whatever.
Everyone's a Christian.
Love.
Everyone's a Christian, and then it's Catholic.
I would never call myself a Christian. I'm Roman Catholic, specifically.
Wait, why is this failing me? I'm sorry. All my teachings.
Like they are like similar, but I think you're right. I think it is all housed like under Christianity. But I would never say that like I'm Christian because I personally think Christians are crazy.
No, I agree. I'm Catholic. Yeah. Okay, sorry. It is everyone's Christian.
Like the deep rooted one, not all Christian, but just like the deep rooted ones. And like I say I'm Roman Catholic because that's what I was baptized as.
Yes.
Even my husband Steve is too, which is like pretty rare to find. Not like super rare by any means, but it's just usually like more like European lineage.
My dad's Anglican and my mom's Catholic. But anyway.
Yeah, no,
she's Pentecostal.
Oh yeah, shit.
I don't even know what the fuck.
It's like on the scale of Mormon in terms of like deep faith.
Got it.
Well, I mean, she married her grandfather.
Yeah. Well, she was. The thing is, she's been really like. It's not even about like practice whatever, have whatever makes you happy. That's totally fine. But she literally has had like articles come out where she's been pretty rude and awful to like her followers or whatever. And she doesn't treat them very well and sort of expects that they continue to sort of worship her in a weird way. But
like in the whole like thing that's coming out now saying like she runs a cult, like they're alleging that she basically like manipulates people to be like, if you leave, like you're going to be going to hell and you're not a part of this. Essentially.
Yeah, that's rough.
It's just the Christian way.
Yeah, it's rough. And then we have Jen Shah.
She's so good for TV.
She's amazing. And I'm really excited.
She's bipolar though. Like the girl needs meds so badly.
Something's up. And like so the first episode came out. Now would have been the second episode, but we haven't seen it yet. The first 2 minutes was fucking amazing when she was like being chased by the FBI or whatever. And then they're like 6 months later or before.
2 months before.
2 months before. I'm like, so we have to wait the whole. Absolutely, this whole season's going to be only 2 months, and so we're not going to see it till the end.
No, I think they film over like a 4-month period, so I think like they're going to show some of it. They said it would be in there.
I think they do. It does happen midway through because you see the aftermath because she's yelling in the trailer. She's yelling at Meredith in her face saying, "You're the reason why I got indicted." And,
So if people need a recap, she was arrested on the conspiracy to commit wire fraud in connection with telemarketing and one count of conspiracy of committing money laundering. She has pleaded not guilty. So there will be a trial.
You know what I heard in like the last episode, because a lot of them like moved houses because now that they're like they want the fancier houses. She admitted that the reason they moved was because their lease was up on their last place. I was like, you rent. And also her last house was gross. Like it was not nice.
It was Shaughnessy. I can't with
Shabuya. Roll call. What movie?
Bring it on.
Thank you so much.
With
Hayden Panettiere. My name is... Anyway.
My name Carisha. I like to shake it.
Anyway.
But Jen as a whole is just like, she's overwhelming, but she's fascinating. I just like, she is so like, her poor husband, he seems like the
well, they don't hang out,
chillest dude.
Well, he's like never home, so
Sharif, best guy. Great
I'm gonna go coach some basketball.
And like they almost got divorced too, and then she was like,
surprised.
not happening, and he's like, all right,
Oh, if you don't want to, I don't see you anyway.
I have a love-hate for her. She's obviously unhinged and a little crazy, but there's this part of her that I'm like, family and loyalty and that sort of stuff. I get it. Like, you're very loyal to your family, like your friends. But you cannot go off the rails.
Anger. Oh my god, her anger management is nuts.
Yeah, you're gonna punch someone. I'm actually surprised she hasn't gotten into a physical altercation yet with her anger. But
that's very true.
Right?
I'd love to see that.
I do have a soft spot.
We're only
for her.
season 1. I felt like I wasn't truly connected with anyone in the first season. Like I felt like I was just getting to know them. I don't trust anyone yet. You know, I feel like season 2.
I can't relate to any of them.
No, sorry, but I meant like I can't. So true. Not Mary. Meredith.
Yeah, Meredith.
Her son Brooks.
Well,
I love him. He was such a good.
We need to talk about the fashion show in the first season.
No, not the fashion show. Just the sweatpant walk.
Just the sweatpant walk.
He tried. He tried.
And you know what? Like, good for you, but like, let's not call this a collection. It's 2 things. You know what I mean?
He like, literally had one pair of pants and I think like a sweater, hoodie and then a crew neck, and
that was all.
And which is amazing, like huge compliment. Like, but like, let's not get mad when people are like, "Hey, that's not a collection. That's pieces of clothing."
That's your mom's
it wasn't
money.
even anything cool. Like at least if it was
Didn't it just say like Brooks?
Yeah, it just said Brooks on the side.
That's not my name. I'm not wearing that.
And the way Meredith talks too.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna ask you, Alex, to do your Meredith impression.
Oh, do you have an impression?
I don't.
Go.
I don't think
I'm choosing to disengage.
Yeah,
that's good.
She shakes her head too.
She does.
I thought Brooks's collection was really nice.
I had a thought that like
you have a really good Lisa Barlow as well.
Oh, go. Do it.
I gave you my top shelf tequila. My tequila is top shelf.
When I hear Meredith talk, I'm like, it must hurt her, right? It hurts her to talk.
Yeah,
like, are we straining some voices? Like,
oh no, it's just so, it's very, they have accents that I actually can't pinpoint exactly where it is. Like, it's got a bit of New York to it, but it has this weird, random, like, Utah.
She's like, it's just, Meredith, right? She's
Both
just very
of them.
nasally, because I think they are from New York, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of...
It just doesn't sound full New York to me,
Yeah.
but I will say I actually do like them. I like their friendship. I think they have a good thing going, but something is a little fishy with Lisa taking Jen's back on all this.
Yeah.
I don't know if they got some, my conspiracy is that there is some money
I feel
there.
like they're not actually all friends. Like, I feel like they're just pretending to have a past because they're very, like...
No, apparently
far
they're
apart.
not. Yeah, they're all just, like, randoms put together and they, like, met during the show. But except for...
Well, Heather and Whitney, because they're related.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And no, but I think Heather and Jen actually have a relationship, right?
Heather and Jen. Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think you remember the hot tub scene in the first season. Anyway,
Right.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to talk about is Whitney and the cake. The cake in the first episode. That I never really had any feelings towards Whitney. I thought she was like kind of annoying, but I'm like, I don't know why, but I like love her now.
I know, so
I
she drops
love
the
her.
cake once, and I was like, oh, okay, like, you can still fix that. Immediately drops it again, and I was like, okay. And then she literally just piles it with like whatever the sparklers that were in it. It just looked like an evil cake. And then the second she brings it outside and everyone's laughing, drops it again.
It was so funny.
At that point, she was just giving up. She wasn't even trying to hold the cake at that point.
But imagine like your stepsons are the same age as you.
Yeah, like she's only like 4 years older than them.
They definitely fantasize about her. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think that's
it.
Yeah. I mean, more to come in the future. I mean, there's a new girl, Jenny Nguyen, this year as well. But we don't know much about her
She
yet.
seems chaotic. I'm excited.
Yeah, she's
Her
honestly
kids
great
are
addition.
Hilarious.
Yeah, they're out wild and out.
Asian, not Bayesian. She's like, she gets straight A's. She's like, yeah, I'm Asian. That's why I'm not Bayesian or something like that.
I was like, absolutely.
She's gonna be a firecracker.
I'm so excited.
I can see her going toe to toe with Jen, so we'll see what happens there.
Didn't even think about that.
The little kid?
No, the new one. Jenny? Is that her name?
Jen and Jenny.
I literally have her name in front of me and I call her Jessie. Like, names are just not...
You're the worst with names.
I don't have anything in front of me.
So good.
Oh, it's okay. This is what COVID does to our brains.
No, it's not COVID.
Whenever TR would do like the presentations at work for like our partners that we would talk about on a daily basis, she would like mispronounce their names.
Alex had a running list of how I would pronounce names, like who I would say wrong.
I can't even remember what they were now.
It was definitely well, I don't think we should.
Genesia?
Yeah. We shouldn't say names.
You can just say the first name.
Genesia.
But Genesia is what you called her.
Oh yeah, something's
You
wrong.
said that when we were talking about the Bachelor Paradise recap.
Is it
Genesia?
No.
Jasenia.
No, what's that girl's name? The real name.
Genesia.
No. The one from YouTube.
Genesia.
What's her husband's name?
Okay.
I can't remember what the husband's or boyfriend's
It
name
is
was.
not Genesia.
Yeah, it is.
Fuck off. I managed to.
I'm so happy to be here for this.
Sorry, okay.
Happening right
You should
now.
always call her Genesia. Hey, do you remember the song, the beginning to their YouTube?
I wanna
Baby, you know, I am pulling out when we love it.
When I kiss them, when I'm hugging.
Okay, what was really funny? So she had this
We're
like
really
song in
blowing
her
the
intro.
plot.
I know, this is just so random.
It's fine.
But this like, we'll show you after. But she had like videos, and it was like, you know, I am pulling out when we love and kiss and lick it. And me and Tony were just like, this song is so fucking gross. And then she got pregnant, and we're like, oh, we saw it.
But every time every couple days I'd be like, you know, I'm not pulling out. At her desk we would be singing like, get in, hugging.
Sounds like a good song. Please don't send it to me.
I will.
We'll do it.
Okay, let's move on. Vanderpump Rules.
Vanderpump Rules.
Again, not a whole lot to say, but we'll touch on it. Actually, we do.
So many people left / got fired.
And while I support the firings for what they did,
No, I won't.
I'm gonna miss Stassi so much.
Kirsten can go. Like, she was just a fucking
Oh my god, she's
mess.
so annoying.
But like, how happy do you think, like, what's his name, James, the British
Oh,
guy?
yeah,
Like, he's probably
James.
just like, fuck all of you. Like, of all people,
Yeah.
for him to stay on the show.
I know.
weasel.
Probably one of the most problematic people, but
and
he
him and
managed to stay.
What's her
name?
Rochelle?
Raquel?
Raquel.
Just got engaged.
Yeah, I know that. I did not see that happening. I thought
What,
he
you
was gonna.
didn't?
I thought he was gonna ruin it, and I don't
he
know,
probably
cheat on
is
her.
going to.
And she's just maybe a
Well,
sticker
she's like
now.
a doormat, unfortunately. He's cheated on her multiple times, and like she's never gonna leave him.
I know. It sucks. It's not going to be the same show. I totally understand why they had to do it 100%. Like they were shitty people.
Yeah, Jack's
It just
gone
made-
too, right?
Yeah, Jax and Brittany
But
are gone,
Sheena's
but they
there, yeah.
said that they quit.
Yeah, they quit.
So it was a
Right,
little
okay,
different.
Which is like, honestly, it's for the best for him. Like, he
Yeah.
needs to just like settle down because he's got issues.
Well, it's funny because like they all posted a
kid, too.
photo together, like Stassi, all the babies, right?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Stassi, Brittany, Lala, and Sheena.
Right. And Brittany's the only one who had a boy. Everyone else had a girl, and everyone's like, "Of course, Jax had a boy. Of course, he had a boy with all the girls. Like, it just makes sense."
Yeah, they're already talking about keeping the girls away from.
Yeah, but Stassi and Bo, I just like love them together. I follow them,
Yeah.
and I'm really gonna miss it because she started the fights. She
Yeah.
was such a shit stir, and she like hasn't worked at SUR for years, and
No,
she's still
in the show.
maintained.
It's not even about SUR anymore at this point.
Except for Sheena.
Yeah. This season is going to be weird.
Still work there. I don't get it.
It's just for the show. It's literally casting. Like they're just filming them one shift every like 2 weeks, and even Ariana, she's the only one actually that they said she fully like still works there, but the rest of them will just drop in.
Well, TomTom now work at TomTom.
Yeah,
so they like work
5% owners. Okay, so
yeah, shit. But you know what? It's probably a lot of money. Like the shit, like the money they bring in, and they didn't really have to do much.
No, they just needed to continue to be the face. I wonder why
Lisa just handed it to them though, because like they're not even like the top people on the show.
She was smart. She was smart though with doing it, because it was like it was a brand. Like Tom and Tom also like represented. Dumb and yeah, it's butthead, like, also like West Hollywood. It's trendy. It's like forward thinking. You know, she was like, she put the photo of them like kissing on the front. Like it just like,
and people will go West and see Hollywood.
Them. Yeah. Exactly. She was, I mean, Vanderpump is obviously, and she does some good things and good causes, but she thinks about money a lot of them.
I fucking love her.
But Tom Schwartz is the biggest dumbass.
Yeah.
Like,
so dumb.
And Sandoval is has a stick so far up his ass.
No, he has a rock for a brain. Like there's nothing in there. Sorry.
Well, like the whole thing, like from last season when Stassi wanted to hold her like book thing there, and he like the morning of, he's like, you didn't even fucking tell me about this.
It
like
was the
it's
ego.
not happening. Like it was so weird.
His ego.
She's like, I spoke to your business partner.
Yeah, like, his ego is out of control, and honestly, he needs to control it because it's getting out of hand, especially with this restaurant now blowing up. He apparently, so I know, I forget who it was, but someone I knew went to TomTom, and they said Tom Sandoval was there, huge dick. Tom Schwartz was there, greatest guy, was talking to everyone, and I was like, oh, that makes me happy that they're exactly who they are, at least in the show. That's one thing about Vanderpump. I'll always say this is why it's one of the best reality shows in history, is because they are exactly who they are. They're exactly who they are,
because they're not pretentious. Like they're not. They don't have to put on a show for anything.
I love Tom and Katie. Honestly, I don't know why I've always loved them. Tom is a little bit of a pushover, and he sucks, and he does the weirdest thing. He's so dumb. Like he's just dumb, and Katie puts him in line, and that's how they feed off of that. She wants to be the mom in the relationship, and he needs someone to be like, what do I wear? Like, tell me. So I like them.
Katie is a hit or miss for me. I really tried with her. She just
I don't know why I really like her. I can't put a finger on it.
She was awful. Oh, she was so mean.
Yeah.
She had, like, she went through a real, I get it. Like,
Tequila Katie.
Tequila Katie. But I feel like she's better now. Yeah. And I feel bad because, like, she must want a baby.
I don't know.
No, I think she's talked about it. Like, in the show, I'm pretty sure they've talked about wanting a baby. But I'm like, imagine all of your friends and you're the only one, literally the only one in that cast without a baby.
I know.
And if you want one, that would really hurt. Yeah. So I hope she doesn't want one. You know?
I know.
Hope this is her choice.
Let's talk about Sheena. She's like one of my faves. I just like love to hate her.
She's so problematic.
But her baby daddy just looks like such a douchebag.
He's there for Monday and Monday.
Like in the preview, it says that like he has 2 other kids with like 2 other women or something like that.
Damn.
Which is fine, like if he's in their lives, but like
I thought he was hot.
They made it seem like he like abandoned them.
The one thing I will say for not knowing who the shit this guy is, don't even know his name. Danny.
Brock.
Cool, close.
Close enough.
You were just there.
Close, so close. Close enough. Anywho, they have been together for a very long time. They've been through a miscarriage. Like they've lived together through the pandemic. Like
they literally just started dating before the pandemic.
Oh, well,
it's been a year and a half. They literally got pregnant with their first kid.
Well, the pandemic's been like 3 years. So if you've been through the pandemic, you have a long-lasting relationship because they're not filming, they're not here for the camera. They're literally stuck in the house together.
But he knew.
No, but like...
And he knew how to lock her in too. The only thing she wanted was to have a baby.
I think, you know what? I'll take Tira's side on this. I do think that he genuinely likes her for her. I will.
But is he a douche?
He must, because he's stuck around for a minute. But also they had a kid. So. But I'm saying it sarcastically, not really.
I was like, thank you so much. That's exactly what I said. I'm so tired.
No, I think he's an attractive, beefy man.
I know his body's so weird to me.
Thor
He's so
vibes,
thick.
and I don't like Thor.
What? Come on, you guys.
I've
really?
talked about this many times.
Okay. I don't know. But Sheena, we're glad to see her happy, though. She
we're glad.
is problematic.
I'm just
She deserves something.
I'm really hoping, like, do you remember a couple seasons ago when she was dating that guy and she's like, he can hang a flat screen TV in like under 60 seconds? Like, I hope she does that about Brock. Like, just something.
Rob, there was the montage.
Rob.
Do you know what happened with that season?
She probably stalked the shit out of him.
Best fucking episode. I couldn't stop
that
laughing.
montage they created. So, did you guys ever hear about the editor on Vanderpump Rules that had a vendetta for
No,
for
that's amazing.
Sheena? Yeah. So this was a huge thing. So an editor, stupid enough. Like, they went on a podcast and started to talk about how they have a game in the production room where they pretty much see how many times can we embarrass Sheena in an episode. So it's really
But she does
mean.
it to herself if they have the footage.
This editor would go out of her way to put montages together about Sheena, and that season where she kept getting the Rob edit,
that's the
that
best.
was so she got fired, and Sheena had this huge scandal with her and put her on blast. It was a big thing, and
Honestly, she should have got a raise. No, she should have got a raise.
She was a martyr for us all.
Yeah.
She made the one final sacrifice.
I just can't get Rob this, Rob that. Like, he probably saw that and was like, whoa.
Because she's like, it's not like they imposed it to, like, she said it once and they did it more. Like, she said it every single time.
Oh yeah, she did. She did.
Fucking psycho.
It was easy. It
That
was
is
easy
also
for them.
the weirdest thing to, like, be proud of a man that he can hang a TV in 60 seconds.
Yeah,
agreed.
she was madly in love.
And also
poor thing.
impossible. Fucking, have you hung a TV before? It took me and Steve like an hour and a half just to hang this one. It's not even the right size for our
It's
TV.
not even
First of all,
hanging.
your TV looks amazing, and I
not
got
hanging.
a quote for a wall mount for $300.
Yeah, it's fucking expensive.
For
I'm
59
sorry,
inch.
that's not hanging, right?
No.
Okay, wait.
We hung a small TV, and then because our living room is like so far away, we put like a 55-inch, and it was like ants. I was like, I can't see anything even with my glasses on, so we had to get a big TV. But now the mount on the wall is for the 55-inch, and we just haven't gotten to.
Well, fun fact: me and my dad tried to mount my TV in my bedroom, but it ripped out of the wall because it's so old, even with studs.
Sorry,
Ripped out twice.
in your apartment?
Yes, there's a huge hole.
No.
I covered it with spackle, but I like don't have the paint, so I'm going out to buy a picture frame.
Why didn't you tell this story?
You know what? I just gotta save some stories. You know, see for this, like it was.
We went from
Natural
Sheena to
integration.
mounting TVs.
Literally
Well
worked out
done.
twice because my dad was like determined. This will work this time, and it literally took 2 minutes.
Did you guys not use a stud finder?
We did, but the stud finder, because like the building's so old that the stuff behind it triggered it to think it was a stud, but it wasn't a stud anyway.
Brutal.
Long story short, that is Vanderpump Rules.
That is Vanderpump Rules. Okay, moving on to so the last two shows you guys are taking the lead on because I don't really watch them.
Well, I think we actually, for time's sake, we should skip Below Deck.
Yeah, we can skip Below Deck.
And let's just do Big Brother. It's 2 minutes.
I'm so happy. I cannot tell you how much joy this season has brought me.
You know what Big Brother is and how it works, right?
yeah.
Okay, cool. This season, it was really back to old Big Brother. Scheming and alliances and backstabbing.
And it's about the game. It became about the game again.
There is one alliance with 6 people called the Cookout. And their number one goal was to be all the minority. Like everyone...
I think I saw a clip of this on
I don't know how
TikTok.
to describe it. Can you help me?
I saw a clip where there was a girl that was like, "Oh, but I'm only half black. Am I next?" And they're like, "Yes."
I want to talk about that because she thought she did something.
Poor Alyssa. But the mission is to have 6 black people in the finals because it's never happened in the history of Big Brother. The black people always get voted out, and they're always put up against a white person, and they're always sent home. And it's really fucked up when you look at the history of the season.
Crazy,
No,
though.
totally.
Yes, they get a really bad
The
edit.
smartest thing about the Cookout, though, is so they're the core 6, but everyone had a +1 outside of the Cookout. So they would bring along their +1. So when it became to the time to put them up to make sure that the Cookout was secretive, they would put out the Cookout member with their +1 that's not in the Cookout and vote out.
It was the
+1.
most genius way I've ever seen.
Wait, I don't understand. So every person had like a person outside of the Cookout.
Yes. Yes.
That they were friends with, that they thought they were in an alliance with.
Yes.
Got
the
it.
cookout. So the cookout itself, they don't really talk to each other that much.
No.
Like you don't actually see them all like in group settings.
So it wasn't obvious.
No.
It was not because they genuinely, so this is the beauty of this alliance, is they genuinely built those relationships. They genuinely were like, these people all are our shields. Ooh, can't talk. So each of them had someone protecting them, which was the most amazing part about the alliance, is that they always had somebody having their back and making sure that they were protected. Nobody knew that they were all working together, because it was these relationships were quite genuine. So the way they did it was absolutely genius.
It was so good.
It was at the cost of some amazing players, like
know.
Derek
and even
X.
Derek's ex, I wanted to win. Claire didn't really want her to win, but I really liked her, and like she knew when she was getting sent out, she's like, I know why I'm getting sent out. I am white, and she knew about it. And she was like, and it's for the cause. She's like, I want this to happen.
Her quote was literally word for word. She was like, a lot of people are not going to understand why, but I understand why. And it was like the most like humble,
so good,
amazing moment in BB. I don't know. I just feel like Big Brother.
It was so good.
Needed this, because the last 2 seasons we watched, like it was like a fraternity.
It was bad.
A racist fraternity.
It's always boring.
And they always come out to be racist. So,
yeah, and it was just hot people getting together, like a high school, and just going against everyone who was a little bit different.
Totally.
Whether that was in looks or the way they acted or personality. You were weird, you were sent out the door, or you were different, you were sent out the door.
And now they're winning, so I'm so excited. And so they get down to final 7, and there's a girl named Melissa who's half black, right? And so they're like, she has to go. Everyone knows. Or it was down to 8 because it was double eviction.
And
so
she wasn't in the cookout,
She's not in the cookout. She's half black. So she's like, you guys, if we get out, I can't remember who was that. Who got
I think it would have been who was it? Yeah.
If we get out Claire, we're all minorities. Like, it's never been done before. And everyone's like, well, duh, the cookout's like whatever. So they're like, oh my God, I never thought about that, Alyssa.
Yeah,
like,
the cookout was telling her, like, oh my God, don't even say that. That's so funny that you even noticed that. And literally in the diary room, they were going nuts.
They're like, no shit, Alyssa. Like, I didn't know that all black people were laugh. Like, it was just like so good. And I'm just like so excited. I thought that Derek, Big D, he was so close to winning the veto. I wanted him to win one thing.
I want him to win one too.
I don't think he should win the whole show, but when he was like, well, you know what? I can't be a competitive threat now because they won't take me. I'm like, you know what, Big D? You're not a competitive threat. You haven't won shit. Even if you won one, you're not a threat.
Try. My favorite right now is Xavier. I'm rooting for Xavier, and Tiffany. Tiffany holds us.
Ew.
I like her.
I hate her.
I know she did them dirty. She did them dirty.
She's the fucking worst. I hate everything.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm just kidding. Her gameplay. I hate everything about her gameplay.
Okay. It is a little selfish, but okay. Xavier's number 1 for me. If not, I would say Tiffany. What about you?
Kylan?
No.
No, sorry. No, Hannah is my number 1.
Oh.
I think she's very strategic. She's not a super competitive person, but she can win when she needs to win.
Okay.
Very competitive. And then Xavier,
yeah.
even though I don't really like him.
You don't like him?
It gets weird vibes, and I do not like that other girl.
You don't like Azza? Are you kidding me?
Sorry.
Oh, TR. We got to take this offline.
Goes Hannah, Xavier, Big D.
Azza
he doesn't deserve to win.
So funny.
When Azza, the yellow dress, when she was like, so someone asked to wear her yellow dress to eviction night, and she was like, yeah, sure. And then she was like talking to the camera. She goes, I wanted to wear that for final 3, but I'm in a game, so I can't say no, so I had to say yes. So I hope it just doesn't fit her.
And then it didn't fit her.
She's like,
and she just looks at the camera and she just does a fist pump when she was like,
So for that alone, I hope she gets final 3 so we can see her in the yellow dress.
Well, for Azza, for me, and Alex, you'll really appreciate this because she has she shows her emotions on her face.
Yeah. We do. Yeah.
So they had to go up to her a few times at cookout and just be like, get your emotions off of your face.
Yeah.
You are showing literally everything. It's your downfall.
She's in the cookout?
She's in the cookout.
Yeah, she's above Big D for me for sure. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I do like her.
I
just
her.
like, I don't know.
She doesn't deserve to win, in my opinion.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. But I would say the people who have put in the work, it would be Xavier, it would be Tiffany for me.
Tiffany
as much as I don't like
Tiffany
him.
put in the work and she would have deserved to win.
Yeah.
Just something about her I don't like, so I didn't want her to win on a personal level.
Well, she has to have her way. That's
yeah,
it. She gets her way a lot of the time, and that rubs people the wrong way. But yeah, Big Brother, it's good. It's a good season.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
God
excited
for this
to see
season.
who wins. But that's it, you guys. Wow, we ran through.
Apology of the week.
Yes.
For our honorary guest Zohra.
Okay, so I want to apologize to the man I had to turn down through a dating app because we got chased by mice on our date.
Wait, what?
Yes. So
good.
That's literally what happened. We went on a date. We went on our little rooftop patio.
At his place?
Nope. It was at a restaurant downtown. And a mouse continued to follow us. We moved tables 3 times. I kept seeing it. It kept going under the table, our table, really close to my feet. I freaked out every time and I would scream. I was like, this guy probably, first of all, hates me. So the mouse kept chasing us. And then finally, I wanted to get out of there. I lost my appetite. And I was like, it cannot be here.
Blast the restaurant. What restaurant has mice?
Yeah, blast it.
Oh, I can't. Honestly, you guys, I can't remember the name of the restaurant. It was a Japanese restaurant. It was on Nelson. In the Law Court area. So just don't go there.
Just don't go there.
Yeah. Anyways, so I apologize to the man that I never
So you
texted.
left. Yeah, so you said the mouse was the excuse, but you just like didn't even care. You're like, it's not going to go anywhere. You never talked to him again?
Exactly.
You never talked to him again?
No, I sent him, I've learned a lot from dating.
Nice.
And I actually sent him a nice message just saying that it's not for me. And that's it. Yeah. And I just said,
because of the mice?
not because of the mice, but I just wanted to apologize because it was a bad date. It was not a good date. I was screaming the entire time. So I apologize to him that's the way I had to go out,
You know what? I'm going to say that's the best guest apology that we've had.
Yes.
Thank you for coming prepared.
Genuine apology.
Yeah, that was good.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
I'm so happy to be here.
Well, I guess on that note, this has probably been a lengthy episode.
If you're still here, thank you so much. Number one listeners.
Thank you for listening to our rambles, of course, as always.
Follow us at We Apologize Podcast on Instagram. My personal one, Tony Rose Goulden.
Zoe.abed.
And Alex_French, 2 X's and 2 H's.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel. But until next week, bye!
Bye.